Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As the title says, this is going to be the truth behind your skateboard setup. So lately I've been getting a lot of DMs asking me, what is the best brand? Are complete boards good? What's the difference between pro boards and team decks? What's the deal with shaped boards? Are blank boards good? And are there brands that are marketed towards transition skaters only? So hopefully after this video, a lot of this stuff will be clarified and you will know the truth behind skateboard setups. So the first question and the most asked question I get is, what is the best brand? And you have the classic debates between Spitfire and Bones, Venture versus Thunder, and Jessup versus Mob. And all these debates have been going on for a long time. Everybody seems to have their own opinion, and some message boards, you can see that there's some people arguing about it. However, there really is no best brand, and you can tell this because each brand has a team and has pros behind them. So another reason is they're able to fund these pros because they sell well, because it works well. So if your local skate shop is carrying a brand, they want to sell it to you without having the customer complain back to them. So this is a good read on what the better brands are. However, there is the cheaper versus expensive debate, which we're going to get into now. So I've ridden a lot of different setups, like a Pro Santa Cruz board with Mob grip tape, Venture P Red Hollow lows, Spitfire Formula 4s, and on-delay bearings. And I've ridden cheaper setups like an ATM board with Iron Horse grip tape, Grind King trucks, Acid Chemical wheels, and Reds bearings. And here's the truth, even though there's probably a $50 price gap between those two setups, there really is no better setup, and I got used to both of them, and I could do all the tricks I normally could on both boards. They just took a little bit of getting used to. So the whole cheap versus expensive thing is true to some extent. However, if you're just beginning, you can get used to just about anything you're riding. So let's take for example Acid Chemical wheels, which are on the cheaper range, and then Spitfire Formula 4s, which are more expensive. Keep in mind that both of these teams have pros and they sell well. And since that, you can tell that they are both reputable brands. But this isn't always the case, and now we're going to get into complete skateboards. So complete skateboards can be a little deceiving at some points. As long as you're not riding this, or this, most of the time you will be okay. But remember, if you're looking for a full setup on Amazon and the price seems a little bit too good to be true, just know that it probably is. When it comes to complete setups, I know Toy Machine, Element, Baker, Santa Cruz, all these brands make their own setups, which is a good thing. But if you see a brand that's a setup and you don't know the brand and you've never heard of the brand and you look it up and they don't have any team or anything behind them, maybe try to stay away from that type of board. However, this is not to say that blank boards are not good. So blank boards is something else you might see on Amazon, and the price will be a little bit too good to be true. However, a lot of blank boards are the same as other popular brands lumber, they just aren't branded. So keep that in mind, that blank boards aren't always bad, but it's still the thing, you get what you pay for. So these are just small things to keep in mind. But let's get into pro boards versus team decks. So if you guys have been online or went to your local skate shop, you might notice that pro boards are more expensive than team decks, even though they are the same brand and they are the same shape and size. And this is because a pro board, a little bit of that money that goes from selling it goes to that pro to support them. So that's typically why the board is priced a little bit higher. But both of them are just as good as each other. Most brands do not sell boards that are different for their pros than they are for regular skaters, but this is not always the case. Most of the time though, if you're buying a reputable brand and you've heard of that brand and you know some of the riders, you are good to go. Even if it's a pro board, if it's a team board, you're good to go. And on to our last question I get is, are there boards that are marketed only towards transition skaters, and what is the deal with shaped boards? So yes and no. People typically see skaters like Nora, who's pro for Welcome, who skates a lot of transition, and think, oh, well, Welcome boards are only for transition. Keep in mind, Nora is also pro for Adidas and Bronson, and both of those brands are used for all different kinds of skating. So a lot of people might see Welcome and Creature and brands like that and think that they're only for transition. However, if you skate an 8.0, 31.5 length and Welcome happens to make that same size just with a shape, you can take that skateboard wherever you want, into the streets, for freestyle, to vert. All of it will work, and that's the great thing about skateboarding, is your setup is yours and you can do with it whatever you want. And another question I get asked is, what is my current setup? So I am riding an 8.25 Creature board with Mob grip tape, the new Grind King Disruptor trucks, Bones Reds bearings, and Heartbreak wheels. So this isn't the most expensive setup, but it works well for me. And we will have an unboxing coming soon and a board setup video for you guys, and I'll go over everything more in depth and why I ride it and what I like about it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you were on the fence on some of these, hopefully this clarified some things, and I had a lot of fun making this, guys. Thank you so much for the support, and as always, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you liked it, and I'll have my Instagram down below. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.